Hello everybody, how's it going? This is Rabbitsmore, and this is Shear A Sheep, my whack-a-mole game for Minecraft. And I wanted to come up with an idea for a whack-a-mole game, but I couldn't think of anything that you could hit that wouldn't take damage, so I switched it over to shearing sheep because it's still something you can do as they pop up here. It actually turns out to be a really fun way to shear your sheep in your world if you want to put this into your survival world. And you can build this whole thing in survival pretty easily. So let's turn it on and see how it works here. So when we switch it on, each of these sheep has a 1 in 5 chance to pop up on each redstone tick that's going through our system here. And we would stand in the center here and try to shear them as they pop up, which is kind of tough, but I've made it so it's a little easier now. It used to go a lot faster, and I've made it even easier now. There we go. Like I said, you could turn this into a game in your world, or just a fun way to shear your sheep instead of just walking around and shearing them manually anyways. And you could hear them eating the grass too, so when they go down. Each of them is standing on a piece of grass on their pistons, so each time they're going up and down, the grass will spread from around underneath here onto the grass they're standing on, and they'll have a chance of eating that and growing their wool back. So you could actually play this game for a little while they're going up and down, because they'll keep growing their wool back and coming back up, so you could shear them again. And if you wanted to make this bigger and have even more colors of sheep, you could do that too. For right now though, I just made a simple circle setup here, so let's check out the redstone here. Alright, so each of our sheep here, this is where the piston is that's pushing them up, has a signal coming from a randomizer here. And a randomizer is a dropper with a set of items in it, usually stackable items and an item that doesn't stack. And that gets activated and sends the item up into a hopper, which goes into a comparator, which detects if there's items in the hopper. And if the hopper has any of the stackable items, like these, it will only send the signal one length here. But if it has the non-stackable item, like the sword here, it will send the signal 3, and it will send the sheep up. So, each time that this sends an item up, it sends a random item. And if it eventually sends the sword, it'll send the sheep up. So the sheep has a 1 in 5 chance of going up with this type of system. And the item automatically comes back down each time using the hopper system here. And we have that on all of our sheep pistons here. And then all of this is powered by a timer system here. Or not really a timer, but an infinite loop of redstone here by using a comparator set to subtraction that just goes into itself over and over. And we can show that by turning that on here. You can see it sets an infinite loop going through this, and you can hear our pistons going off in the background there. And what I've done with these two pieces actually, like I said, it used to be really quick. The sheep would go up and down way too fast, and it was really hard to get them. So I'm using these repeaters here to actually extend our signal a little bit, since otherwise it would be using this over and over, which is a little too quick. Now it's using 2 sets to kind of extend our signal here. So that's about it as far as our redstone goes. It's pretty simple stuff. And I'm going to do a quick tutorial on this in case you guys want to build this in your own worlds. Alright, so we're going to find a location to build this here, and I'm going to do this as if we were building it in survival. And we're going to do, like I said, you can make this about as big as you want. I like it this size because it's easier to move around from the center and shear them. And it makes the redstone fairly easy as well. So we're going to pick a spot for each of our sheep and then do each one 2 from each other here. And I'm just going to go around in a circle, doing 2 blocks in between each one here. There we go. And then starting on one of these here, we're going to go down another 2 blocks and a 3rd block, and then put a piston here. And this is how our sheep is going to be standing on a piece of grass here. Our sheep will be here, and we're going to have a piston here that's actually going to be the part that's going to stop them from suffocating but still be able to get pushed up to the surface. And now we can dig ourselves over to our next one here and do the same thing. We're going to put a sticky piston in the bottom and a normal piston in the top. And you're just going to do this all the way around. Alright, so once you've gone all the way around, the next thing we need to do is make sure that we can have our grass spread to our blocks that are going to be where our sheep are standing. So we're going to place dirt blocks here, and eventually the grass will spread from the surface here down here anyways, so don't worry about silk touching grass and placing it down here. I mean, you can, it'll help it go faster. So we need to make sure we have as many grass blocks around this block as possible, so we're just going to dig around each one of these so that it has access to a grass block nearby here. And just go ahead and do this on each one of your pistons here. Okay, now that we've cleared everything out, we just need to get some light in here to make sure that our grass spreads as well. Since grass does need a certain light level to spread, this will make sure that our grass spreads all the way around just by putting these torches on each of these corners. And it will stop any creepers or skeletons or anything from spawning down here as well. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to dig ourselves up, and we need to get sheep onto each of our areas here. And we're going to do that by surrounding each area where the sheep is going to be, like this here, and each of the corners here as well. And then we're going to use rails to get our sheep in here. So obviously you would have to have some sheep in your world already. So go ahead and place your rails like this. You're going to do going up into it and up onto the spot here, and then just go ahead and break this piece out. We won't need that later on. Place your minecart and then push in your sheep from wherever you had. So make sure you have a sheep farm nearby or something where you can either get a lead and bring them over, or you could push them and get them into this minecart here. I'm just going to go ahead and spawn them for the tutorial here. We're going to have the sheep, push them into our minecart, and then we're going to push the minecart into the spot up there. And once they're in there, we can go ahead and block this area off, break the minecart, and then place a piece of dirt right here. And that will make sure that that sheep is completely secured right there. And go ahead and break your rails. Again, we just need to leave this grass area down here so we can cover up this area and this area. And once this grass is here, it will still spread to the block that the sheep is on there. And we just need to go around and do this for each of our pistons here. So again, make sure you block off the side where the sheep could walk to here. And then up top as well. And then we're going to do a rail system on the block and down, and then break this one, get the minecart on there, push in your sheep or use a lead to push them in here. And they're going to go into the minecart, and then you just push the minecart. Oh, need to push them onto the cart. Push the minecart up and in, break the minecart, and block him off. And you're just going to do this all the way around. You're probably going to get to a point where you have a corner like this where you have sheep in this one and this one already, so they have to be blocked in, and you won't be able to place your rails like you did on the other ones. And what we're going to do with this one is just go ahead and get ourselves up to the surface here, block off the normal sides that we would, block off the top. We're going to do something like that. Place your rail here and here, break this one, so it's just going to have a slope here. Place your minecart, and then we're just going to push our sheep down in there. Hopefully it won't be too stubborn. There we go. Push them down into the hole there. They'll get pushed over into this area here. And we need a way out here. So we're just going to build out here. Block off that side area. And we'll get rid of that area as well, so we still have grass down there. What we're going to need to do here is break the minecart and then place a piece of dirt on the side here. Like that. And that will finish up your sheep. Okay, so once you have all of your sheep in under your piston areas here by using the minecarts, next thing we need to do is place a block above the area where the sheep will be here. So it needs to be 2 above. It can be any block. I use glass just because it looks nice here. So again, it just needs to be 2 above each one of their spots. And this is so when they get pushed up and they're standing here, they won't be able to jump out. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and mark our center area here just so that it's easier to see. And now we're going to move on to the redstone. So what we need to do is make sure we start digging down into an area where we know there isn't grass, because we're keeping grass near our center area of each one of these sheep. So we're going to go 2 away here and just start digging down. Here you can see all of our grass going around. And we're going to keep going down here, 2 below the grass, and we can start digging out beneath the grass here so we can find our piston. And we're going to go ahead and dig all the way around and dig out an entire square area here so that you can see all of your pistons. Okay, so once you've dug out this room and you can see each of the pistons here, we're going to start working on the redstone. So make sure you have a couple things. You're going to want some sort of brick, and probably a little bit of it, at least a stack. You're going to need at least 8 droppers, 8 comparators, probably about a stack of redstone, and 8 repeaters for now. And then make sure you have 4 different things and 8 of them. So I have 8 cobblestone, 8 dirt, 8 stone, and 8 sand. We just need anything that stacks and 8 of each of those. And then we're going to need 8 wooden swords as well. So for each one of these, we're going to mark where the sticky piston is, where our sheep is. And then what we're going to do is for each of these, let's go ahead and move this torch over so we still have light. For each one of these areas here, we're going to extend this out. This is going to have a repeater on it. And then this is going to go back further. Let's go ahead and get some more light in here. This is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 out from the repeater here. So it's just 5 blocks total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll make sure to get a signal going here. Although this last one will be a comparator. And this very end block is going to be a dropper. So we're going to make an area here so we can jump and put our dropper so that it's facing up. And actually the other thing that we need, so again, make sure you have these for this, is hoppers. You're going to need 8 hoppers total. You're going to shift click this onto the top of this dropper here. And then go ahead and place 1 of each of your blocks in here. And the sword. And then make your comparator coming out of your hopper here. And for now, just go ahead and do that on these 3 here, going out this direction. Okay, so once all 3 of these are finished, and again that was your repeater, 3 redstone, a comparator, a dropper going up with the items, and a hopper going right back down. So once you're done with these 3 here, go ahead and set each of these repeaters to 4 here. And now you're going to do the exact same thing here on the opposite 3 over here. Alright, so you should have 3 going out each direction here, and now we're going to do our sides. And these ones we're not going to do straight out because we want to keep our redstone kind of compact here. So what we're going to do is dig this out, move it over, and move it over 1 more. So again, this is where our repeater will be for this one. It's going to be set all the way to 4. We're again going to need 3 redstone behind that. And for now, I'm going to send this off this direction. It could go either direction here. And this is going to be where our comparator is and our dropper set up here. So let's go ahead and get our dropper, hopper, comparator coming out of that, and again, all of your items here. Like this. Get a little bit of light back here. Alright, so that side's done, and we're going to do the same thing on this side, going the same direction. So this one went this way, this one's also going to go this way. Okay, now that all of our randomizers are ready to go, we just have to link them all together, and what we're going to do for that is make sure that each of our droppers here, each of our droppers here will have to have a redstone signal going next to it, and then we want to link them all together as well. So what we're going to do is dig behind each of our droppers along our system here. This will also go over to this one. And we're going to need some light again. Once you got that area dug out, make sure you have a chain going all the way around. And then this is going to get redstone all the way around the sides here. And again, this is just going to be going behind all of our droppers here and linking them all together. There we go. Keep bringing our redstone along. And we need to make sure that we have gaps between any chains like we're doing so we don't have our redstone connecting to each other. And this one will go to this dropper here. And go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, but you don't need to bring it along the walls just yet. Well, so I've already done it on this side. You're just going to go ahead and link up all the droppers here. And then what we're going to do is go around to one of our sides here, one of our side randomizer setups. And we're going to go ahead and carry this signal from the side here out and around the side here. And this is going to need a repeater so that we can carry the signal far enough to go out to these other ones. And again, we have to keep a gap here so that our redstone doesn't connect. So we're going to take this around and let's see where this is going to go. Alright, so that's where the gap will be. This is where our wall will be. So we're going to carry that over and around this corner. Get rid of that one. And we're going to need another repeater here down towards the end here. So let's go 1, 2, 3 from the corner and put another repeater here. And then we can keep carrying our signal. Like that. Alright, and now all of our droppers are set up to the same signal here. So anytime some sort of signal goes onto here, it should activate all of our pistons. And we can go ahead and test that out with a lever here. We'll just place that along. Let's go back towards our beginning here that links down the redstone chain. And we'll go ahead and I guess it doesn't matter where we place it for now. But you could hear that activated at least one of our pistons there. So we would just want to make sure that our signal is going all the way around here. Whoops, forgot a piece of redstone right there. That's going around, and yep, it has plenty of signal to activate all of our droppers at the same time here. Very cool. So now we just need to set up our infinite loop system so that they can start going when the game is turned on. Alright, so before we set up our on-off switch here, we need to make sure that our area outside here where we set up these repeaters, since it was heading this direction, we need to make sure our signal is coming from this direction. So check out where this repeater is along the outside area here. Since it's facing here, we're going to go this way. We're going to start building behind these hoppers over here. I'm going to dig out an area here so we can start working. And there should be plenty of space here. Let me get some light. We're going to start working right behind this hopper here along this wall, and 2 over from that. And then we're going to start with a repeater set to 2, and another repeater set to 2. I'm going to go ahead and dig out a bit of space behind here. Alright, that should be plenty of space. And for each of these, we're going to bring them back again. And this repeater is going to be set to 4. And one behind here set to 3. And then one more behind this far one over here, set to 4. And what this is going to do is extend our signal. So basically our signal is coming in really fast on this side. And when it's going through here, it's going to light up and go off, going through the repeater. And that's just not long enough for the system. So I make it go through another series of repeaters here, and so by the time this one turns off, this one is still lit for a little bit. So it actually makes the signal just a little bit longer for our system here. And then behind each of these repeaters, we're going to do a piece of redstone and bring that down from each of those to connect them. And now over here is where our comparator is going to be. That's going to be doing the infinite loop for this system. I'm going to go ahead and break an area here so I can jump place this right there in the corner. And right-click this to set up to subtraction mode so that it can always go looped into itself instead of doing a weak signal. Alright, and we got it all connected here. And now we should be able to test it by setting up a lever. You can see it's going infinitely into itself as long as this lever is turned on. It's sending a signal along here. And you can see what I was talking about here. Once one of these repeaters is on and off, the other one is also on and off on a separate timing, but they'll still make sure that this is lit for a longer period of time. And we'll have to make sure that this is going around to each of our hopper systems here, which it looks like it is. Just make sure that the comparator is lighting up. Yep, so it's definitely going all the way around. So if you come out to an area in the center area here and pillar your way up in survival, you should be able to come up and check out your system to see that it's all working. Each one is getting pushed up and going back down. And they're pretty quick right now. Something that I do to make them a little easier, we can go ahead and drop back down and turn off our system here. So we're going to go back and switch off this lever. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and break this lever for now because we don't need it for now. So something that makes it a little easier, and this is only if you're finding it to be a little too difficult, is you can place redstone going on top of each of your hoppers here. Just make sure that it has an airspace so that it can connect to this redstone right here. We're going to do that all the way around here. Again, just make sure it has an airspace above where redstone already is and then above the hopper. You can just right click there and it'll go on top. We're going to do this on all of our hoppers around here. And what this does is allows the items to stay in the hopper a little longer, and that will make it easier for us to be able to catch the sheep while they're up without them going down too quickly. And you can shift right click this on top of hoppers. There we go, so that's all of our hoppers here. So now we just need to go back to where our area is here, and we're going to find a way to connect this area up to the top so that we have a lever to turn our game on. Okay, so while you're facing your timer system over there, find a place where you already have either a ladder set up or you're just pillaring your way up to the surface in survival, and you're going to be facing this while you go up. So facing the timer system, go up to the surface, and starting from here, this centerpiece, this center piston here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is where we're going to set up our game switch here. So we're going to put a lever there, and then to the side of this, we need to go down, and we're going to place redstone down here, and one over from that as well. And climb your way out. And then what we're going to do is go back down into the area here, go over to our timer area. We're going to put a signal behind here, and we're going to start carrying it up to the surface. So it's going to go up 1, and then over. So that's up a second time, and up a third time as well here. And then what we're going to do is dig a tunnel here. Let me get a torch real fast. There we go. We're going to dig this direction until we hit our other piece of redstone that we had set up with that lever up top on the surface. Oh, make sure you block off any areas that you possibly fall through there. Alright, so we hit our redstone here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and use a stone brick so we can keep track of our redstone. There we go. We're just going to go ahead and connect each of these signals together, like so. And now when we activate our lever up on the surface here, I'm just going to break this out. This should start setting off our sheep system here. Yep, there we go. So the only other thing that I really did is I surrounded my lever in wool and I put a redstone lamp above it, like so. Just for the appearance of, you know when the game is on, when this is turned on. And it gets a nice look with the wool around it. But other than that, you're done. You can clean up your area here, clean up there, make sure. I put a trap door next to my button right here so that I could get down to the redstone if I needed to. But other than that, you're good to go. You have your whac-a-mole, your Shear A Sheep, or whichever you want to call it. I think Shear A Sheep sounds pretty cool. But yeah, you got this set up in your world, so have fun with it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.